I don't know.
Good evening, how's everybody? Okay. Consistent with the Mayor Pro Tem ordinance, we will allow some time. We'll allow an additional 5 minutes for Mayor Henyard to see if she will arrive, and if not, we'll get the meeting started at that time. Thank you. Okay, good evening. How's everybody? Okay, we are going to call this meeting to order. We have waited, I'll say, it's 6:42, so we've waited 12 minutes. Should the mayor arrive, she will take her appropriate space as the chair for this meeting. In the interim, we will use the mayor pro tem ordinance to get this meeting called to order and be mindful and respectful of everybody's time. With that, I'll ask Clerk Key if we can establish the roll call and call the meeting to order.
Good evening. Can you guys hear me? I don't need to pull it up a little closer. Okay, is that better? Okay, great. Trustee Tammy Brown? Present. Trustee House?
Present.
Trustee Norwood? Trustee Stan Brown?
Present.
Trustee Holmes is absent. Trustee Belcher? Here. And Mayor Henyard is absent at this time. We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. I'll ask everybody to stand so we can do the Pledge of Allegiance. Remain standing. I'll ask Trustee Stan Brown, do you have a prayer in you this evening?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadows of the Almighty. I say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. In God we will trust. Surely He shall deliver us from the snares of the fowlers and from the noisome pestilence. I say to your brothers and sisters, let's wait on the Lord. Be of good courage, and He will strengthen our hearts. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Trustee Brown, for that great and amazing prayer. Next thing we have up is public comment. So I'll ask anybody who has comments for this body, please come to the podium. We have 3 minutes, and we will acknowledge the 3-minute mark when it arrives. So, public comments going once.
I'm going to keep it short. I just want to thank the trustees again for this amazing meeting. I just want to put out there to everybody in the world that what happened was a Dolton Township issue and not a Dolton issue. And a lot of people are blaming Dolton and calling us, you know, all type of names because of what happened. And y'all have to understand that even though Henyard leads both government offices, that was her employees at Dolton Township, not the employees that represents Dolton, Illinois. So I just wanted to say that, just put that out there for everybody to understand that we are still moving forward. We're still Clean House 2025. We see that she didn't show up. We see that Andrew Holmes didn't show up. We thank Keith Freeman for showing up today and just doing right by the people. So for that one, I do give him a congratulations and thank you. And just want to say everybody look good. It's amazing. Make sure y'all get out there and vote. Voting day is February 25th. Early voting starts February the 10th through February 24th. Just make sure y'all do what y'all need to do to make sure we vote her out of that seat permanently. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Brown. Also known as our favorite survivor.
First of all, greetings to everyone in the room. And again, we really have to thank the Park District because you have really been big for us. I don't know, we've been meeting on the corner with you all. Liberation Day. I'm calling it Liberation Week, or actually 2 weeks. February the 10th, February the 25th. Liberation Day number 1. Liberation Day number 2. Dolton Township, April 1st. Let's get this done. We're almost there. If we could just stay focused, stay together, and have each other's backs, we can do this, and we can do this in a way that the whole world will know that evil will not triumph. I don't give a damn how many goons they have. I don't care how many lies are told, how many records have been hidden from the people and the trustees. And given all that, all the hell that they took early on, being accused of blocking progress and so forth, the light has been shining on the roaches, and the roaches have scattered. They have scattered. I don't see many of them here today. But that's just the way it is. You know, I don't like calling people out of their names because we see that can, backfire every now and then. But it's just, that y'all when they calls me kids, they got to go. We take enough of that. So I just want to, spread love, spread encouragement. Let's all stand together and get this job done.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Nice to see everyone. I just wanted to get up here briefly and just say thank you, everyone, for coming out. One thing that has just really grown in this movement is just the involvement of people in the political process, and that is so beautiful to me. I was one that, once upon a time I was on the outside and just didn't really care to be involved in politics or what was going on. So, it's really nice to see people getting involved. We ask that you stay involved. Even after the election, remain involved. Come to tea with the trustees. I think there's one this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. It's always nice. It's pretty interactive. You can ask questions, you get your questions answered, and just socialize, with people in the community that have same interests. So again, I just want to remind everybody, get involved, stay involved. People that are watching at home, please come out and vote. Early vote, like Danley said, starts February 10th. But it's just important that you're involved in the process, and not just for the antics, but because it matters. So just wanted to say that and to thank everyone for coming. Thank you, Board of Trustees. Thank you, Clerk. Thank you, Deputy Clerk. And everyone have a great evening.
Thank you very much.
Good evening. You have to excuse my voice, I just got it back. Well, my name is Stacy James, and I'm a resident of the village of Calumet Park. And there are similar things that's going on over there, like over here. But at first, people were afraid to come forth. That's the people who work within the village, the residents, because it's like whenever you voice your opinion or your dislikes for something that's going on, then you're retaliated against. So my issue began in 2020 during COVID, and it was unbelievable to me how I was disrespected with my property. And I was told that if I needed to know anything about what they were doing with me, that it was for them to know and for me to find out. So at that particular time, I decided, well, I need to go and find out something about this municipal law. So I started studying municipal law at the Bridgeview Law Library, and what I discovered was that we were a hot mess. So I've decided to run for mayor this upcoming election because we are the people, and especially in villages, small towns, we are the ones that are the initial players for oversight. No one's going to come in and look for things just because we're saying we have problems. We have to hold our leaders accountable. And I expect when I get in to be held accountable. We have FOIA. We also have the court system if it has to go to that. But people have to stop being afraid. You have to consider your neighbor as yourself. And if something is going on with them, you can't just sit back and say that's their problem, because it's all of our problem. So what happens is when you don't have skin in the game, it's easy for you to sit back and do nothing. But as soon as something happens to you, you want somebody to speak up for you. So I'm here to tell you all to continue to stick together. And even though I'm from Calumet Park, we are all in these south suburbs, and we need to have a coalition so we can hold our leaders accountable so it won't go as far as it has gone. I thank you for your time. Have a blessed day.
Thank you very much.
Good evening. This is for the people out there tonight. Some months ago, my brother texted me from Arizona, my brother Danny, and said, "What's going on, Dolton? We're seeing news reports. Please go and give them support." You see, when you love something so much, you will fight for it. Being the family historian in my family, Dolton shows up so much. My father's side all the way up. One from Germany, one from Holland, came here to stay. I was blessed to live here with grandparents and 2 sets of great-grandparents and lots of extended family. I reconnected with old friends from 50 years ago, made new friends with people that were here when I was here, that I never knew, and I made many new friends out here. You see, we're all connected to this invisible thread that the village of Dolton has connected the past to the present. When I come through here a couple times a week, I see Dolton from different eyes. I'm sorry I came late to this. I really am. I'm here every time to show love, support, and the common goal that we all want Dolton to rise again with the proper and caring people in charge. Someone reminded me that Dolton is a living, breathing entity, which means it is something that is constantly changing and requires close attention. And that's what Clean House will do. This is not the trustees' fight alone. This is not the residents' fight alone. This is our fight. So, you know I cannot vote here. I wish I could. But on the night before, I'm going to go on Facebook to a private group of Doltonites that we share memories of growing up here. I'm co-moderator of. I'm going to ask for prayers, thoughts, and love and support for every one of you for the next day of voting. When I went to Jason's campaign party, his kickoff, I said, "Give my childhood town back." I'm changing it. Get our town back. So please tell everyone to vote. Jason, now, when you win, I want to call, I want to text, I want a back signal, anything. I want to be there. And when you get sworn in, I'm that crazy aunt you never had. And I'm going to be there cheering you on. It's our fight. Thank you, everyone.
Good evening. My name is Minister Deborah White, and I have been a resident of Dolton for 40 years. I have never seen such deplorable actions in our community. So my question to every resident, are you ready to take our community back? Yes. Because if you're ready to take our community back, it takes getting out and voting. It takes taking your neighbors if they can't get out. It takes taking them to the polls, or give them an absentee ballot if possible for them to fill out to vote. But it takes getting out here and doing the work just as they have been doing for us for the past 3 years. Letting us know everything that's going on, bringing Lori Lightfoot into Dolton to shed some light on everything that has been transpiring behind closed doors. So if you are really, really serious about taking your community back, I want you to stand up and give these individuals your support.
Good evening. I wanted to come on here after having so many messages and specifically speak to the elders and to parents with children that are involved in these meetings. I want to acknowledge my words, which was my choice, and I stand by them, but I will replace the B word with roaches moving forward. But I want to apologize to every elder and every parent who that pricked in a negative way. It does not reflect the totality of my character. But what I do want to say and remind you all is that while people are speaking about a soundbite, I want to remind you all that there are a litany of things that you all have spoke about for years. People seem to only pay attention to drama. That's why people call me. I'll bring the drama. But today in Black History Month, I really hope, while these cameras are focused on me, that they will remember Valerie Stubbs being targeted with city services, that they will remember Alicia Nicole being doxxed and incorrectly claimed to not be a resident. I want them to be reminded of Sherry, who lost her job and had other injustices with nobody hearing her voice. Mary Avant, who has been a prominent member who gave her confidence, but then was betrayed by someone doing things like hiding records and taking funds. I want to remind them of the trustees who experienced years of abuse while trying to do the job elected to do. People like Thelma Price, who wanted her to win, but now declares she's going to jail. I want to remind you of people like Beth, someone of a different nationality who at first wouldn't shake my hand, but I just got a hug and a kiss on the cheek. Because she's still consistently with me as a partner, and I want to thank, if I did this, I'll be up here all day because there are tens of thousands of black, brown, and other races that have been in this fight, like Renee and so many others, that have not getting that national spotlight. So I wanted to put it on you right now because you all are the ones who really made this happen. All the letters you wrote, all the meetings you showed up at, every time you asked for help, you didn't get it. My advocacy is not to be seen. My advocacy is to echo you. And when I left, thank you all for calling me back. And now as we continue to fight, I say in advance, while I'm praising God already for it, that Clean House 2025 will take this city back and get y'all right back on track. It has already been determined what's happening in Dolton Township. I'm glad that she's not here. She doesn't deserve to sit up there any longer. But I do want to remind you all of this. Desperate people do desperate things. I don't know where to turn. Because this is not a problem with Dolton. This is a problem with the Southland. And I just want to encourage people in communities all across America to pay attention, to ask the questions.
3-minute mark.
And when you feel like you are not heard, when diplomacy and tact not working, give me a call. I'll show up.
Any further comment at this time? Okay, now, one final. Ms. Pat likes making an entrance. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everybody, and I'm glad that we have people that's backing us up. But we got to remember the politicians that we put in. We don't need them talking about us, we need them to help us. The governor needs to step in. We're gonna need funds. Even though they're gonna win, we ain't worried about that. But he's so worried about the immigrants, but they take care of themselves. So if he's listening and anybody's close to him, he needs to come out here and help us. We put him in for us also. So a lot of people are trying to say, well, where's he at? We need to start writing letters. We're gonna need a lot of help. And these people here are the best people that can help us, but they're gonna need some more help also. So I'm just letting everybody, we got to start calling the governor and all these politicians that's talking about us and saying this and that. They need to help us. We need to stop fighting each other. And that's the bottom line. So I know everything 2025 is gonna be okay. We just need some funds, right? Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. So we're gonna close public comment, and then I'll open it up for general announcements if any board members have any announcements at this time.
Yes, Madam Recognize.
Go ahead, Trustee Tammy.
Mayor Pro Tem. Good evening, everyone. I just want to remind you that this coming Saturday will be Tea with the Trustees in the same exact room at 9:30.
I always say the same thing every month. What we see tonight is the same crowd we should see on Saturdays. Saturday is all about you to tell us what you want to see us do, and to see happen. You don't get that on our meetings that we normally do. You get up, you say what you want to say, I need this, this, and that, and you don't get a response. Come out Saturday, and you will get a response. It's going to be an awesome, awesome, awesome menu Saturday. Don't just come out for the food, but come out for the information that we have to give. It's also Black History, so I want to do some things for Black History as well. So definitely make sure you come out Saturday, the 8th of February, 9:30 a.m. Also, the expungement summit had to be moved back. So it's not going to be February the 22nd due to an unexpected death that one of the attorneys had in his family. He lost his father. So we definitely will be praying for him. We're looking at a tentative date of March the 8th for the expungement. So please spread the word. Soon we should have flyers out, and it definitely will be posted on our pages. Also the Dolton politics and all that. So we'll be posted. I will have flyers. If it's not you, if you know someone that needs their record expunged or sealed, March the 8th is the tentative date that we're looking at. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any additional comments?
May I be recognized?
Absolutely, Trustee Belcher.
Good evening, everyone. First off, I would like to say thank you all for coming out tonight. Over the last week and a half, of course, we received tons of calls. And what you see on TV does not reflect us. And as we have fought this fight for the last 3.5 years, we see the end. Please stay focused on the mission. The mission is for us to remain together. The mission is for us to understand what's going on in our town. And the mission is for us to move forward. I say that because a lot of times, as someone just said, we get caught up in the drama and forget what we're focused on. Our focus is to change the narrative of Dolton. And I would like everybody that knows everybody that that's what we are here for. Your sitting trustees would want to continue to do that. On another note, I was not here for Lori Lightfoot report, but I watched it on TV because I wasn't feeling well. And I am putting in a formal request because I think that we purchased ice skates. I would like to know the inventory of them, so when our mayor comes back, make sure that we get the inventory for those ice skates, because I'm sure our community needs them, and those electric bikes that was paid for, because they belong to the village of Dolton. I say that to kind of bring some cheer, but also because it was very sad to see the numbers that popped up on that screen of our tax dollars being spent inappropriately. And whatever we purchased, it belongs to the village of Dolton. So if we don't receive it, we'll be making sure that we do anything necessary to get it back. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Belcher. Any additional reports at this time?
Yeah, Mayor Pro Tem.
Trustee Norwood.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. I'm so happy to see you all. Tonight has just been an exciting night. I'd like to thank everyone. Thank Dolton residents. We have done it again. Our 4th annual family skate night. It was everything, right? We needed a little fun, and sometimes we have to remember to just relax and let our hair down. So I thank you all for joining me and helping me make that an amazing night, because I had a ball. And you all know what I say, a family that skates together stays together, okay? I'd like to thank the sponsors, all right? The people who assisted with making that night possible for the children. We have President Richard Hogan and Kurt Masucci with Private Hogan Investigative Services. The Insurance Exchange, one of my favorite insurance companies located in South Highland, Illinois, and Tristan Sumter from who works on property tax appeal and residential commercial properties. So guys, there's an old adage that says, if you like to go fast, go alone. If you like to go far, go with the team. So I'm just thankful for my team tonight, for seeing this mission through, right? As they stated, we're almost at the finish line, and together we can do it. So we are Dolton strong, and let's do this, guys.
Thank you, Trustee Norwood. Trustee Stan?
Yeah, I'd like to touch bases on. I want to thank, I see some of the faces that actually came out to Abundant Living Christian Center, to the prayer for Dolton this past week. Thank you each and everyone that did come out. This Sunday at 11 o'clock, Apostle William H. Fleshman will be doing an anniversary. Jackie, what is that, 16 years? Pastor Fleshman will be serving anniversary for 16 years of being at Abundant Living Christian Center Church. Each and every one is invited to come out at 11 o'clock this Sunday because Pastor Fleshman has always been here for the community. The doors has been open to each and every one that wanted to come and do whatever you want to do, to talk about any issues, to bring any type of love or peace together. William Fleshman has definitely been there for the community. So if you, I know everyone belongs to their own church, but if you come by at 11 o'clock, we'll be there for a while. And I know it's Super Bowl. I know you won't be there, Cleo. So I know how it is. I know how it is. It's Super Bowl Sunday. But if you can, come by and give a little hello to Pastor Fleshman, because like I say, his doors have always been open to anyone that want to come there and do anything you want to do. Thank you.
Say hashtag Clean House 2025. In the back.
Going once?
You got my back, Kevin?
Okay. Absolutely.
I'm sorry that, I'm glad you did say that about the prayer. Wednesday, we did have prayer at Abundant Living Christian Center, and we had Dolton ministers and reverends that came out. So I'm grateful that we've started back our prayer for Dolton. It was an awesome time, and just for the fact that we can get churches that's in the community to participate was a really good thing. So thank you. I'm sorry I forgot about that. I was waiting for him to say hashtag Clean House 2025, but he didn't say it. Well, thank y'all.
Okay, and I have two special thank yous I want to give out. First being Dolton Park District. So I want to make sure I individually acknowledge, I don't see Commissioner Kyle Rochelle present, but we want to acknowledge him, Commissioner Gail Towers, and I do see present Commissioner Sandra Wells, so please wave. For everybody in the round of applause, they've been the great part here. I see Commissioner Willis Harris. And our President Cleo Jones, spearheading the effort. I can't emphasize enough how partnership and working together has allowed us to make some strides and make some movement in what we're doing. So your support and cooperation has greatly been appreciated, of course, by the Board of Trustees, but also by the residents of our great community. So thank you very much for all that you've been doing. Second thank you, I want to give acknowledgement and ongoing continuation to all the employees for the Village of Dolton. There's, of course, we talk some, we have the Village Administrator, Keith Freeman, there's our Human Resources Director, Janice Johnson, we have Trustee in Dolton Township, employee at the Village here, Carmen Carlisle, as well as, that was mentioned in the Lori Lightfoot report, we have the Conspiracy Group, we have the hardworking men in the Public Works Department, the Fire Department, the Police Department, who've all had to struggle through 4 years of a very difficult administration. So I do want to ask everybody to give a round of applause to all the employees that work. I think we see the fight. For many individuals, they've all been faced with a difficult challenge. When you're faced with a mayor's office that's telling you to do things that may challenge your moral compass, and to, in some cases, change course, I think we sometimes overlook how difficult that can be. And for those staff that have given the trustees an opportunity to show that we have a different direction and a different way, we want to say thank you, we do appreciate it, and we want to continue to earn and work together This transition has not been easy. It is not easy, and it won't be easy. But I will say that right now we've been working to stabilize services. They've been working with understaffed, undersupplied. Is that a word? If it's not, hopefully we can put it in Doltonese today. But they've worked in some tough conditions, and I wish I could say that tomorrow we're going to snap our fingers and it's going to be over, but it's not. I will say that we'll continue to work together. We'll continue to move the needle forward so that as we are, God willing, able to transition into a new administration, we will see things light years ahead of what we've been. Similarly, just to be a part of observing the community come together and hug on each other through these difficult times, fight together and love together. So it's definitely been an experience, and it's one that we want to make sure, as Trustee Belcher mentioned, that we continue to move the needle. This fight is not over. It has just gotten started, and we are here for it. We are inspired, and we want to make sure that we continue working together. Lastly, Trustee, I paid him well for that. Lastly, there was a plea, and we will be asking, so any legislators that may be paying attention, as the trustees are working, we are working hard to get our audits caught up. We are working hard to make sure we have budgets that are responsible. And the trustees are saying, we don't have a problem managing money, we just need more money to manage.
There you go.
So that being said, we will close general announcements, and I will transition to village clerk's report.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to ask the Board of Trustees to approve the minutes for January the 6th, 2025 regular board meeting.
Is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes from January 6, 2025?
I make a motion.
I second.
There a motion by Trustee Belcher, second by Trustee Norwood. Any discussion? There's no discussion. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Trustee Tammy Brown.
Aye.
Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Stan Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Motion passed. Item B is going to communication. I was going to talk about the upcoming election, and I'm so glad to hear that all of you guys are so up to date on these dates. I'm going to say it anyway, but I wanted to remind everybody of the upcoming election for 2025. The early voting for consolidated primary election is February the 10th through the 24th, and that will be held at Calumet City Library at 600 Manistee in Calumet City, Illinois. The election day is on February the 25th, at wherever you normally vote. You will go to that location in your precinct. And if you do absentee ballots, you probably have received them in the mail. So please complete those, don't hold on to them. Complete them, send them back in as soon as possible. Because the sooner you get them in, the quicker the vote will get counted. Again, April 1st is our consolidated general election. And early voting for that is March 17th through the 31st. And again, that will be held at Calumet City Library in Calumet City. And that concludes my report, and I hope everyone come out to vote.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yes. If you normally vote at Berger Vanderburg School, that school is under construction, so they will now vote at Diekman School, which is on 151st and Diekman Court. So just to let you know, is it Dorchester?
It's 151-21 Dorchester.
I should know that, right, because I vote there. So Dorchester. Again, the parking is limited, so if you can early vote, that'd be great, because they put 4 precincts in a little small school auditorium. So it's going to be really tight. So if you come, it'd be probably better to come out and early vote, but if you have to vote on election day, just be prepared to have to look for parking, because it's pretty tight over there. I see a question out there. We normally don't ask, but this is important. Sure, go on.
Will you be putting out a flyer about those voting details?
I'd be more than happy to give copies of those. If anyone need a copy of this, I can make sure to get you copies. Okay? Just, and yeah, the county clerk also does a mailer, so you should get something in the mail. But if you would like a copy, you can go to my office tomorrow, the clerk's office, and we'll be more than happy to give you a copy.
And I will say we have a new Cook County Clerk, Monica Borden, who will do an amazing job, so be on the lookout for any information from her. Okay, if we can, does that conclude your communications?
That concludes my report, thank you.
Okay, the next thing we have, there's village administrator. We have no report for that this evening. There was an engineer's report that was emailed over to the board for review, so I'll ask that we take note of anything in that report. Department head reports, I was not informed that there will be any department head reports. I'll briefly pause to see if any departments have. I see our fire chief has a report. Let's give him a round of applause. I appreciate it being a new day because we love to make sure everybody has the opportunity to give these reports. Thank you very much, Chief Governor.
Thank you, everyone. Trustees, Mayor Pro Tem, and everyone here. I just have a quick report on what we've done at the fire department. I am John Calhoun. I am the interim fire chief for now. And my report goes as follows. We've had 578 calls this year so far. And in those calls, we've had fire responses, motor vehicle accidents, as well as emergency medical services. But I wanted to point out this one on Thursday, January 30th, we had a structure fire or home fire at 14500 or on the 14500 block of South Dolton. The fire was in the basement, crews quickly put the fire out. No one was injured, but the reason why I wanted to point that out is to segue into the program that we did start at the fire department, and that is our smoke detector installation program. Please, we need smoke detectors in your home. Make sure you contact the fire department at 708-201-3259 and schedule your appointment, and we will come out. We've partnered with the American Red Cross. We will come out and we will install a smoke detector. We have to do it that way. We can't just give it to you, but we do have to install the smoke detectors in your home. We're starting with 2 per home, and we just want you to be safe, and want to make sure everyone is, well taken care of. All right? Thank you. That's it.
Thank you very much. Any additional reports at this time? Don't shake your head so hard, John. I see you. I'll tease you. Okay, that'll conclude department reports. Next we have on the agenda is the corporate bills. Let me go through the packet because I had that together. There we go. Okay, I'm going to read the accounts payable list first because that's the one that popped up first here for me. So I will ask, or I'm going to make a motion that we approve the payment accounts payable warrant list dated February 3rd, 2025 with corporate payments of $1,247,790.89. Payroll for January 2nd, $447,362.55. Payroll January 24th, $445,301.21. Family Fitness Center register payments of $1,244.32. Total payments on this register, $2,141,698.97. Is there a motion to approve the bills as read? Do I hear a motion?
No motion.
Trustee Norwood, is there a second? Second. Okay, hear a motion and a second. Any discussion on the bills? All right, no discussion. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Trustee Tammy Brown? Aye. Trustee House?
Aye.
Trustee Norwood?
Aye.
Trustee Stan Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Belcher? Present.
Present.
Motion passed.
Okay, next we have the electronic payments list for December 31st, 2024, with corporate payments of $9,156.30, water fund payments $304,262.08. Total payments on this register $313,418.38. Is there a motion to pay the electronic list as read?
I make a motion.
Here, a motion, Trustee Belcher. Is there a second?
Second.
Here, properly motion and second. Any discussion? No discussion. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Trustee Tammy Brown? Aye. Trustee Jones?
Aye.
Trustee Norwood?
Aye.
Trustee Stanburn?
Aye.
Trustee Belcher?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you very much. We're going to move on to item number 11, which is discussion and possible improvement of the settlement offer presented 300 West Sibley versus the Village of Dolton. This item was discussed in executive session on our January board meeting. A little bit more teeth was put into the document. So I will make a motion for approving the settlement offer, and I'll ask, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, hearing a motion and second, any discussion? Hearing no discussion, I'll ask Clerk Key for a roll call, please.
Trustee Tammy Brown? Aye. Trustee House?
Aye.
Trustee Norwood?
Aye.
Trustee Stanburn?
Aye.
Trustee Belcher?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Next up, we have item for 12A, discussion of Players Park Commercial Land Use Development. This is our Village Administrator Keith Freeman. I'll ask Administrator Freeman if he'll come join us to expand a little bit. You have a few items in there. We got a nice comfortable seat for you, sir. Wherever you would like. Okay, if you don't mind, just kind of elaborate so that the community understands what is being done.
So the Players Park development is a project that will bring a semiconductor light manufacturing company to Dolton. It will also bring some much needed community improvements, baseball fields, football fields, soccer fields. It's right, I believe the project is slated for right off of Dolton Avenue and Expressway. Right now we're just in the discussion phase, so what the company is asking is, they're asking for the support of the board to start exploring the options. Now, this is not something that's set in stone. We're at the beginning phases, the infancy phases of this project, but I wanted to put it on the agenda, and I wanted the board to get the proposal so that we can start setting up meetings with the company for the board and the board of trustees to discuss it with them, as well as to set up some community meetings, possibly some committee meetings to discuss the overall proposal. I think it's a great idea. I believe the Park District has been working on this for the past year and some change. I know that the project has been mentioned for over maybe 5 or 6 years, but we're in the infancy stages, so it's a really good project. I think everyone here would probably say that it probably needs some more community engagement projects. So light manufacturing, community engagement, I think it's a win-win for everybody. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I probably can't answer any questions right now, but feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to not only answer your questions, but set up some times for you guys to talk to the people that are proposing the project.
I will add a little bit more on there as well. The investors are former Dolton residents and grew up in the community of Dolton. We have invited them previously, I would say in December, to come do a presentation along with the individual that did the presentation for 14700 Harvard. There was a scheduled clash, but they will be brought to the community for further discussion. At this moment, I believe we're just discussing a letter of intent that's a non-binding. But we do want to make sure that the community is aware of other projects that we are working towards fulfillment and a more economic development for the community. But I'll yield to see if any board member has questions.
I just would like to know if maybe, I know Keith Freeman said that this is the infancy stage, but will they be able to do a presentation or something?
We can set up a time. I'll set up a time for them to come do a presentation for you guys individually. Maybe we can set up a community meeting, before next quarter. So I'll work on it.
Thank you.
And I can say I've insisted with them that they do a community meeting before the board takes any formal action.
That is- You want us to stay up here?
Oh, yeah, you keep everything that says.
I haven't seen you guys in so long, it's just so weird, you know. How you guys doing today?
Okay, you guys know, and this was kind of what I talked about at the beginning. That, I mean, there was a culture of a lot of fighting, so back and forth for so much time that it took a growing period. It really did for all of us. So I'm going to ask everybody to give Keith Freeman a round of applause. We do thank you for what you're doing. But I'm going to call you Derek Blocker so we can go to item C.
I'll take it.
Item C is the approval of annual Xerox Business Solution Services equipment. Oh, that one could be? Ooh, okay, I can hear it later. Discussion and approval of Vista National Comprehensive Employment Benefits Package.
So I'm not here to present that. That's just our employment benefits. I believe Bridget Stewart is somewhere here. So come on, Bridget, come on.
If we can, just so I can take everything. Bridget, if you're okay, I'll go through all the items that Keith has, and then we'll come back to the Vista, if that's all right with you. All right, so I'll come back to Vista for that presentation. Administrator, if you're okay with item C, approval of the Xerox Business Solution Services Equipment Agreement.
Oh, yes, this is just an agreement, our annual agreement for Xerox copiers, scanners, the equipment across the village. So this isn't just for the Village Hall, this is Village Hall, Public Works, Police Department, and the Fire Department, I believe. I believe it's for the contract for the existing printers, but it also adds, I believe, a copier for the copier, scanner, printer, all in one for the clerk's office, which that's pretty good. So you're very, very well.
Okay. And then look, I don't recall seeing the duration of this contract. Is this 3 years?
Every year is 1 year.
1 year? Fantastic.
Every year is 1 year. Say it again. The paperwork says 3 years. We actually, I had to send me another DocuSign. So the copy that I have is DocuSign. I sent you that one. I told them we were going to do a yearly renewal. So.
Yeah, at this point, if we can, I would like to do only annual renewals while we work our way back to solvency.
Absolutely.
All right. Any additional questions from the board? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agreement as entered on the agenda?
Motion to accept the agreement.
Second.
Hearing a motion by trustee Stan Brown and a second by trustee Belcher. We had discussion, so any further discussion? Hearing none, clerk, can you please call the roll?
Trustee Tammy Brown. Aye. Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Stan Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, next we have a discussion and approval of collective bargaining agreement between the Village of Dolton and AFSCME Council 31 by Administrator Freeman.
Yes. So our Public Works Department, the contract for the Public Works Department, the Housing Department, the Water Department, we've agreed to a new 6-year deal with them the first year. It starts at 0%, which means they didn't ask for any retro from that. The next 5 years are progressive. I believe the terms are in the contract. But this is the start of us trying to figure out how to take care of all of our workers. The service workers are the backbone of our community. And for a long time before I got here, and before the trustees got involved, we really struggled with being able to keep up with their contracts. So this is the first time we got ahead. And hopefully this will give us an opportunity to set the standard for the future contracts, but not only for AFSCME, but for police department, the fire department, and those unions. They work incredibly hard. They're owed every single cent that they get, and this will help us. Mike McGrath and his firm has done a great job of helping us negotiate these contracts. So I appreciate their time and energy and effort because we were waiting on us. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. And hopefully this is the start of a long period of us being able to stabilize the Village of Dolton in a great way. So I'm asking that you approve this contract for the AFSCME. I believe it was the local 2199.
Yes. Okay, is there a motion for the approval of the contract as stated?
I make a motion.
Second.
So I heard trustee Belcher's motion. Who will fight it out for the second? I think I'll go trustee Tammy Brown with the second. And any further discussion at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Tammy Brown. Aye. Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Norwood.
Aye. Trustee
Stan Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, next up, item E. Item E, discussion and collective bargaining agreement between the Illinois Fraternal Order of Police Labor Council. That's also administrative agreement.
This is one of those contracts that I want to apologize in advance. We got everyone's contract done, but these wonderful ladies that work in the records division, they work incredibly hard. They worked harder than they get a lot of credit for. And this contract, if you don't know, is from 2021 to 2024. It's been that long since they had a contract. So we are incredibly grateful to them. We're sorry that it took this long to get the contract done, but we finally got a contract done for them. This contract mirrors the contract for the police department's patrol unit and sergeant's division. So their increases will continue to stay at the same rate as those two units. These ladies work incredibly hard. These people work incredibly hard. And I appreciate that. And I don't get a chance to tell them because I don't like, just popping up in the police department. But thank you. I'm sure you guys know that at this point. But thank you to all of those, every single person that works in that office. And this is the contract that you guys deserve. And hopefully we can do better next time. So I'm asking that you approve the contract for the FOP Record Site and Records Division.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the contract as stated?
A motion to accept the read.
Second.
I hear a motion by Trustee Stan Brown, second by Trustee Belcher. Any additional discussion at this time?
I would like to say something. Thank you, Keith, for making it known. The ladies in the records department of the police department, most of them been there over 5 or 10 years, and they are very deserving of getting their contract and making sure they work hard. They are the backbones of the police department, making sure. So I'm happy that we are able to get this contract moving forward because they do work really hard.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, clerk Keith, please call the roll.
Trustee Tammy Brown. Aye. Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Stan Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Motion passed.
All right, next up, item F, approval and settlement agreement between the Village of Dolton and Jessica Burns and May Burns. Administrator Pruitt.
Well, I'll defer to Attorney McGrath for this one.
If we can, I'll pause this one too. I don't want you to keep standing there.
Thank you.
We'll come back. If you're okay with that, we'll pause and go through. We'll come back to F. Next, item G is approval of the business license name from TAC Group LLC to follow the business names as listed on the agenda. Administrator Pruitt.
Yes, so Tech Group is the company that owns St. Patrick's on Lincoln Avenue and Civic Boulevard. When they applied for the business licenses is under the Tech Group. For insurance purposes, they're asking that we change the names for each individual venue located inside of the building. So I'm asking that the Board of Trustees allow for them to change the name on the license that you guys already approved at the previous meeting to the license, the name listed on the agenda.
Okay, so this was already approved. Any additional risk or exposure that we would have changing the name?
No, I think it actually helps with the coverage. So under the one COI, certificate of insurance, there would only be there's only a certain threshold. I believe it's a $5 million threshold. So under this COI, each individual level will have a $5 million threshold, which would be a maximum of $30 million for the entire building, which again will help us. God forbid something happen, but at least each individual places covered. So we want to make sure that they still have to go through the process, like they're still at the phase. I know Trustee Brown and I had a conversation today about making sure that they finish all the work, that they get all of their formal inspections are completed, that they do everything that they're supposed to do. But right now, this is just sort of a formality with the name change. But we will make sure that they do everything that they're supposed to do before they open, and we'll make sure that they cover all their bases. I think it's a wonderful project, and I think it's something that Dalton deserves. So.
Thank you. So hearing this, is there a motion to approve the business license name change?
A motion.
Hearing a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Hearing our motion, trustee Norwood, second, was that trustee Belcher?
Yes.
Okay, any further discussion?
So, I just have a question, so, because I see on here, so each level, they're still using tag, but it's doing business as for the insurance purposes so like.
So
each
Tech
one
Group
have their
LLC,
own-
so Tech Group LLC will change. So one level is Tech Group LLC doing business as St. Patrick's Veterans Depot.
Right.
The next one is PTK though, as opposed to the Tech Group. One
Okay.
is PTK LLC. So I tried to list them all individually and separately. So some of the names won't be Tech Group, some of them have other names, yes.
Okay, all right, that's it.
Okay, any additional questions? Hearing none, clerk, can you please call the roll?
Trustee Tammy Brown?
Aye.
Trustee House?
Aye.
Trustee Norwood?
Aye.
Trustee Stan Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Belcher?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that's,
Jason,
yes, sir?
excuse me, I'm a little late on this. Do we have a opening date for St. Patrick's? We've been given a time frame to open up?
No, I don't have an opening date, but as soon as I get it,
Yeah, to my knowledge, at this time, I believe there still is extra steps that they need to do. So I'm unaware of an opening date, but I think, yeah, there's still additional due diligence that needs to be done.
you guys always know more information. You guys need to.
All right, Mrs. Allen knows people, so you gotta hang out with her. All right, well, that's gonna conclude the items for Administrator Freeman. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Wonderful to see you guys.
I'm gonna circle back to item F and ask Attorney McGrath if he can talk about the approval and settlement between the Village of Dolton, Jessica Burns, and May Burns.
Yes, this is a case that our office did not handle. It was essentially a case where a vehicle was stopped and two people claimed that they and the vehicle was improperly seized. They filed a federal lawsuit. Hinshaw and Culberson, which is a very good firm downtown, represented the village in the defense of the matter. They went to a settlement conference, and based upon the cost of defending cases like this, there's already been extensive legal costs, and there'd be additional legal costs to fight the case through to trial if it went that far. It was their recommendation, everyone's recommendation, to settle this matter for $57,000 with no additional liability on behalf of the village and or the two officers involved. So we go along with that recommendation and recommend approving the settlement with that amount.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there a motion to approve the settlement as stated by Attorney McGrath?
A motion.
Or a motion, Trustee Norwood, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion by Trustee Norwood, second by Trustee Tammy Brown. Any further discussion? Hearing none, clerk, can you please call the roll?
Trustee Tammy Brown? Aye. Trustee House?
Aye.
Trustee Norwood?
Aye.
Trustee Stan Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Belcher? Aye. Motion passed.
Thank you. I don't want to say the last, but definitely not least. We go back to item B with Vista National. So I know we have the broker of record. Forgive me for not having the name handy. Miss Bridget, come on and join the dog family.
Good evening, everyone.
So what you have before you should be a financial overview of the insurance renewal proposal for the Village of Dolton. And basically what we're looking at, first off, does everyone have a copy of the financial summary letter? So
Yes.
basically, this is just going to provide a financial overview of what the Village of Dolton will be paying going forward for your medical, dental, and vision lines of coverage. Your insurance proposal or your insurance programs do in fact renew March 1st. So what you have again before you are the details of your medical insurance. So your medical program with Blue Cross and Blue Shield will be increasing almost 12%, 11.9%. Right, you'll see what that annual increase is, a little over $200,000 for your medical insurance. It initially though came in at 19.7, but we were able to negotiate that down to 11.9, so a little shy of 12%. Your program with Linga Financial, your dental, that did come in with a 3% increase for the upcoming plan year. That equates to a little $3,800 for the year. Okay. Then your vision program with IMED, there was actually no change to what you're currently paying today. That program is currently in a rate lock, meaning that there is actually no increase. The premiums will remain flat. However, your life insurance is actually, we've got to do some work on that. That program was actually terminated and canceled by Blue Cross and Blue Shield due to not paying the premium. So what we're going to be doing is we actually have some proposals for other carriers that I'll be working with Keith and Janice to get that program reinstated with a different vendor or carrier. Questions? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
So when was anybody made aware that it had canceled?
Well, the program terminated back in August of 24. So there were, again, folks, there were several communications that were submitted to the administration, your administrators. We just weren't paid. So I don't have exact dates of the communications, but there were several communications that were sent to the Village of Dolton about that. And as a result of, the policy being terminated, Blue Cross and Blue Shield will no longer reinstate. So we'll have to find a new vendor. And we've got some proposals that we can take a look at. So I'll be working with Janice, like I said, and Keith to ensure that we get that reinstated or active again ASAP.
Does that conclude your statement, Alex? Trustee Dolton? Okay, I will say, I think of course we're going to have more dialogue on that. That's frustrating as a board member to hear say the least. I think I would ask that additional correspondence in particular as things come behind it, we can also have the board members copied on there so we can cover one another. But I look forward to future conversation.
Absolutely.
Any other comments from other board members? Okay.
More questions?
Yeah, so it renews, you say it renews March 1st, so is this like every year that it renews?
Yes, but for the vision insurance right now, that was actually in a 4-year rate guarantee. So it's still obviously in a rate guarantee, and I believe your coverage that you have with Blue Cross, the life insurance, for example, on occasion, we may be able to secure a 2-year rate lock, but this year it is an annual renewal.
Okay, and when these are sent over, is it just a quote that's sent over and somebody looks at it and say, okay, or is there any like, okay, we can move this, negotiate with it, I guess?
Absolutely, yeah. So typically, whenever a group is up for renewal, like I said, your programs renew March 1st. We typically are maybe 75 to 90 days out, we start that marketing process. And we go out to all the different vendors, the different carriers, to try to see what is the best option for the Village of Dolton. The medical program, Blue Cross is obviously a Cadillac carrier, so we really didn't have much competition there. And if you renew the medical, for example, those plans will remain as they are, no changes to the benefits. But the life insurance, again, we did shop that, and we do have some competitive carriers.
that would actually be a lot lower than what you were paying. But the difficulty is, you know, we unfortunately can't pay the Village of Dolton's bills. Or, you know, the invoices. Our job is to just advise and convey the message that, hey, Blue Cross is saying you guys need to submit payment. And if that doesn't happen, they will, you know, submit another request for payment, and that goes directly to the Village of Dolton. And our job is to just convey the message again that, hey, you guys gotta get this done. If you don't, then X, Y, and Z will take place. And that's unfortunately what happened.
And your point of contact is
Janice Johnson.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Personally, I don't know that it's gonna be the format for my questions. But I will say I do want to have further discussion.
Absolutely.
Hearing the presentation that's given, I'll ask, is there a motion to approve the Vista National proposal as presented? Do we have a motion to approve the presentation or the?
I make a motion.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Hearing a motion and second, any further discussion? Okay, clerk, can you please call the roll?
Trustee Tammy Brown. Aye. Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Sam Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay. So
Thank you.
with that, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, having completed that, items H and I, the mayor is not present to present, so we will surpass that. And I will ask if we have a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? Hearing a motion and second. Clerk Keith, please call the roll. Trustee Sam. Clerk Keith, please call the roll.
Trustee Tammy Brown. Aye. Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Sam Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Belcher. Aye.
All right, done.
Meeting adjourned at 7:48 p.m.